ladies. Hello, ladies. How you doing? I'll get you some food. Get back in. Get back in. Come on. Come on. Okay, everybody, the chickens are happy. It is warm. Okay, everybody, it is warm, 67 degrees in East Tennessee. Chickens are happy, getting their scratch. So I thought now would be as good a time as any to get ready for the snow. Yes, I'm serious. 67 degrees at 5:30 in the evening, and they're calling for 2 to 6 inches of snow tonight. So I thought I'd bring you along, feed the chickens, get them some scratch. I'm going to check their heater, collect the eggs, and then get ready to do some more work. If you have tender seedlings in the garden, don't forget to cover them up tonight. I still have rosemary from last summer, and other than that, I've pretty much just got a mess, so I don't have much to worry about out here. We've brought a wheelbarrow of wood over by the house, just in case. We're going to cover it with plastic, try to keep it as dry as possible, just in case we need to build a fire. So we are not in the kitchen today. Like I said earlier, it's 67 degrees, but they're calling for snow tonight, so I wanted to go through and do some winter weather storm preparedness or spring storm preparedness. My main focus for today is going to be on lighting. When we have a storm coming, my biggest concerns usually are lighting and heat. So I showed you that we've already pulled over some firewood next to the house, so it'll be easy to pull in. The next thing I'm doing is I've pulled out my lights. I'm going to test the charge on things, and I just wanted to go through them and give you an idea of what we have. I think we have good ideas and good backups. So we have a typical flashlight, which everyone should have. I like this flashlight. For one, it's metal. Two, it is rechargeable by USB. It also is a very good light, and it expands. You can make it smaller, you can make it larger, and it has high, medium, low. It has a strobe and a slow strobe, and all of those, by pulling the handle or sliding it in, goes to a larger or a smaller diameter, more concentrated. I like this because it's easy to keep charged and keep handy, and it's not too big, it doesn't weigh too much. I believe my husband got this on Amazon. If I can find it, I'll leave you a link for all of these items below if I can find them. So always be sure to have flashlights. But when you're in the house, you don't always want to have flashlights. So I'm going to show you some of the other things that I have. The puck lights are probably my favorite. These are small. They take 3 AA batteries. They have adhesive on the back if you want to stick them somewhere. I have these. I have one in each room of the house. I have them on shelves. I try to aim them toward mirrors if I can to reflect the light back into the room and give even more light. I like these because they're push on, or they also come with a small remote control. The remote control has settings for brightness. It also has a timer, which is what I really like. So if you're going into a room to get something, you can click it on, and then you can set the timer for 10 minutes, and it'll flash to show you that the timer's set. That gives you time to do what you need to do in the room and get back out of the room before the light automatically cuts itself off to save your battery. I did get these from Amazon. They come in a pack of 6, and I believe they're around $30. I'll have to double check that. I'll see what I can find and link it in the description below. But 6 of these, like I said, I put one in each room downstairs. So 1 pack has pretty much covered the house. I like them so much though that I also bought a set for underneath my cabinets that I use all the time when it's not an emergency. The next battery operated we have is Life Gear. This one I think came from Tractor Supply or Rural King. We didn't get it from Amazon. We like it because it sits on a table. It has a D-clip if you wanted to, or a clip if you wanted to hook it onto a backpack or something to carry it. And you simply pull it up and turn it on. And as you can see, it's pretty bright. And it usually stays up. I'm not sure why it's sliding down at the moment. It also has a low. Okay, and that's adjustable in height. It just diffuses the light nicely. There's low, so it has a high, a medium, and a low. Frosted plastic around it really diffuses the light nicely. And it's easy to just set on a table and light up the whole room. The next item I have here, these are from Amazon, and I love these lanterns. These are also USB rechargeable. It has 2 sets of handles, so it can be carried as a lantern. It can also be tipped over and carried as a flashlight. It works as a flashlight. It works as emergency flashers, slow emergency flashers. And if you choose to pull it up, the light automatically comes on, sits nicely on a table, no fire hazard. And it'll light up a room, 360-degree light. As I said, these are rechargeable. It's got a standard USB. It also has magnets on the bottom. I don't know that I trust the magnets. I feel better with it setting flat, but if you wanted to test them, you could try sticking them sideways with the lantern out and use it in this direction. I've never tested that, so I'm not going to vouch for it. But I love these lanterns, and I have multiples of them. This thing I have is very different. This is a rechargeable light bulb. And this one is by Living Glow, but I know these are available on Amazon. I bought these years ago on HSN or QVC. And these you just put into your light socket. And I have one centered. We have a fairly open concept, so I have one in a light fixture that's centered in the house. And the way this works is when you use the light, it charges the battery that's built in. And when the power goes off, this light automatically comes on. Then you can control it with the switch on and off. And as long as you regularly use the light where you have this bulb, it'll stay charged. That way when the power's off, it goes off. The downside of this is if you have an extended power outage, it's going to go dead. So that's why we also have the other battery backups. It only charges when the light is turned on by electric, is what charges it. But there is another handy thing, and that is that these bulbs come with these little cap hooks. And what these are for is you can actually put the light bulb in this. If you have one that's charged and you're not putting it in your light socket, you can hang it. It has a nice little hook to hang it up by. It also has a push button on the top, and you can actually turn it on without it being in an outlet. So this is a nice light. I like having it around. I especially like the one that I keep in the one light fixture that stays charged, and that way when the power goes off, the light immediately comes on, and we're not fumbling around in the dark trying to figure out where our other lights are. Another tip is always keep your things together. I have a small tote, and I keep all of these items inside that tote, so I know if the power goes out exactly where the tote is, and I can go right to it and get it. And all these items are in it. I also try to make sure several times a year when they're calling for winter storms or thunderstorms that I pull these out and check them. That's what I'm doing today. And I just thought I'd bring you along and show you what we have for backup. My largest and most expensive backup is this little solar generator. This is a Paxess. It came with one solar panel, so it can be recharged. This is a very simple little solar generator. It has 3 USBs and 1 USB-C port. It also has a 12 volt, if you have anything to charge by 12 volt. And then on this side, I'm sorry, I'm clumsy, I can't get it open. On this side, it has a standard outlet plug. This is very simple to use. You just turn the power on. You can see that it's currently charged to 100%. And if you want to use USB ports, there's a small button you would push and it would power that. Or if you want to use the 12 volt, these are all the 12 volts, and you would push that button and you would see, right now it's showing 2 watts even though there's nothing in. It's going to level out. And if you want to use the standard plug, there's a button at the top that you push, and that will turn on your standard wall outlet. So with this generator, I could USB charge my lantern and my flashlight, 2 lanterns and a flashlight, at the same time. It won't drain the battery. This has, I think, 60 watts, and these don't use near that to charge. The other thing that I can use this for is something a lot of people may not think of. We have 1 box of clear Christmas lights, and these little lights put off a lot of light during a power outage. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate one of these strings for you. Now this has multiple strings. It's 600. So I could unwind these and I could kind of string them along the house. Okay, so I can turn on the electrical outlet part, and I can plug in the Christmas lights. And you can see this strand is pulling 47 watts. So I wouldn't want to use this for very long. I would probably want a larger generator if I wanted to run these for a long time. But that's a lot of light for an hour if you string these out across your living room or kitchen, wherever you feel you most need the light. It will definitely save you from being in the dark. So I will just turn that off. And you heard the generator running. It's that quiet. The only thing you really hear is the fan running. It's a very nice thing about these generators. Another nice thing is that you can keep them in the house. You can run them in the house. Unlike a gas generator that you need to keep outside and it's loud and it's annoying, the solar generators are super quiet and they're safe indoors. Now another thing that I just want to mention, even though it's not lighting, is to have a small radio. Now this is just a plain AM/FM radio. It can run off D batteries or it can run off electric. I could plug it straight into my generator. If your power's out, odds are your internet's out unless you have a satellite or something. It's important to be able to get information. So it's good to have a radio. It's also good for boredom. I don't know if you've had power outages that last 3 or 4 hours, but it can get pretty boring during that time when we're used to being surrounded all the time by music or television or something. It's nice to have a radio in your supplies for emergency alerts and to have something to do. So they're saying 2 to 6 inches of snow in East Tennessee tonight. I hope we get it. I've learned not to ever doubt March storms. If you were around East Tennessee back in '93, you know that we had a blizzard, I think a year to the day tomorrow, March 12th. We had 36 inches of snow. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Keep in mind, if you're not from around here, 2 inches of snow shuts us down because we have hills and curves and we don't have the equipment to clear the roads. So I'm hoping that we get it. I hope it goes away quickly after we get it, just long enough to enjoy it. And I'm very happy to know that I'm prepared for it. I hope you'll prepare as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you come back for the next one.